This is Gemara Bava Basra Daf Ches, and we pick it up on the top of Ches Amid Aleph. We are 3 lines down. Teaches the Gemara Rav Nachman bar Yitz bar Rav Chisda Rami Karga Rabbanan. He imposed a tax on the Rabbanan. Amar le Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak. So Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak told Rav Nachman bar Rav Chisda, Avarta, by imposing such a tax, you were over on Adaraisi, Vadinavi, Vadiksuvi. You're over on Gans Tanach, Torah, Nevi'im, and Kisuvim. Says the Gemara, what are these 3 entities? Adaraisi, you're over the Chsev. Says the Pasuk, Chayviv Amim, Kol Kedaisha Biyadecha. Says the Pasuk, Hashem loves the holy ones. They're in His hands. Amar Moshe Lefnei Kadosh Baruch Hu Rebbeinu Shalom. Afilu Bishash Atam Mechaviv Amim. Even at a time that you're Mechaviv, that there is love being shown to the Amim, still, Kol Kedasha Biyadecha, your holy ones are in your hands. Ve'im Tuku L'Raglecha. Pasuk continues that they sit at the feet of a Kadosh Baruch Hu. Tani Rav Yosef, what does this mean? Tamidei Chachamim shemikatetin, that they wear out ragleim, their feet, me'ir le'ir, going from city to city, memdina lemedina, lilmaid Torah. Yisa medabra isecha concludes the pasuk that they receive the word of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Lisa v'aliteim b'debayrais shalmakayim, talking the words of Hashem. So pasuk number 1, the Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak told Rav Nachman bar Chisda that they're over on the din d'oraisa. Continues the Gemara at the Nevi. You're also over on a pasuk in Nevi'im. T'chsev, as the pasuk says, Gam ki yitnu b'goyim. Also, when they're placing themselves amongst the goyim atah kapseim, you'll gather them in now. Vayachalu me'at mimasa melech v'sarim, and they'll be humbled by the kings and the officers. What does this mean? Amar ula pasuk zeh b'lashon Aramis nemar. This pasuk is said in Aramis, and therefore, what's the real meaning of the pasuk? Explains ula. Itinu kulu. If all the Yidden study Torah, Atakav saying, says that Kadosh Baruch Hu, then I'll gather them in. V'ma'amehem yechalu mimaisa melech v'sarim. They'll be released from the burden of the melech and the sarim. Meaning, teaches the Gemara that the ma'at, those few, those Talmidei Chachamim that are oisik in the Torah, they will not have taxes, and that is pasuk number 2. That Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak told Rav Nachman bar Chisda, you're over by imposing a tax. Pasuk number 3, Adi Kisuvi from Ksuvim Dechsev, says the pasuk Minda Beloy v'holach lo shalit. It's unlawful to put them taxes, different types of levies and fines. Lemir ma'aleim v'amar Rav Yehuda, and Rav Yehuda explains minadazu minas hamelech. It's the tax of the king. Beloy, that refers to zu kesef gulgalta, a head tax. V'halach zu arnaina. This is the tax from the land, the crop, the livestock, etc. So those are the 3 reasons that Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak told Rav Nachman bar Rav Chisda you should not impose such a tax. About 20 lines from the bottom. The first line is V'halach zu arnaina. Continues the Gemara, Rav Papa Rami karga chadita ayasmi. Rav Papa put a tax for kara chadati, for digging new wells, ayasmi, on the Yisayim. Says the Gemara, Amar le Rav Shisha, pray to Rav Idi le Rav Papa v'del malay midavil, but maybe they're not going to draw water from the wells, so why are you making them pay? Maybe the well will never come to fruition. Amar le mishkal shakilna minayu. I took the tax. And again, midvil means not just that we won't use the well, but says the Gemara, maybe the well will never really provide water. So says Rav Papa, you're right. So if it works, it works. If not, I'll return the money to them. Amar Rav Yehuda, says Rav Yehuda, la'agle gaba. Says Rav Yehuda, we impose a tax to install doors on the city gates, afilu meyasvi, even from the Yisraelim. Aval, however, meirabanan, loi tzrichin nitiru. So the Rabbanan, we don't pose such a tax, so they don't need to be guarded. Hakol lekare patya. Furthermore, it says of Yehuda that from everyone we collect for the digging of the well, afilu meirabanan. Even the Rabbanan, because they need water. Says the Gemara, but v'laya maran. This is not true. Ella dlonafki bechluza. Says only if the townspeople themselves don't go out to dig the wells. Aval nafki bachluza. Then Rabbanan lavini mafki chluza into the Rabbanan. It's beneath their kavai to be the ones to dig the wells, and therefore says the Gemara, we would not impose that at all on the Chachamim. We continue at the two dots, about 12 lines. From the wide lines continues the Gemara. Rabbi Pasach, Rabbi opened up storehouses in the years of the famine. Amar, he said, Yikansu Bali Mikra. He said, only those that read Torah, Bali Mishnah, Bali Gemara, Bali Halacha, Bali Agada, they should come and eat from these storehouses. But said Rebbe, Aval Ame Haaretz, Al Yikansu. Tachak Rabbi Yochanan ben Amram, v'nichla Yochanan ben Amram, pushed himself into the storehouse. Amrlai Rebbe, and he said, Parnaseni, Rebbe, you have to feed me. Amrlai Beni Karita. Amrlai laugh. I can't read Chomesh. Shanita Mishnayis. Amrlai laugh. Imkain b'mar farnischa. So said Rebbe, so how could I give you food? Then we have to give it to the Talmidei Chacham first. Amar le Parnesani ki kelev u'ka'orev. Feed me like a dog and a raven, meaning at least give me the compassion that you give to animals. And Parnasei, indeed, Rebbe fed him. Basra denafik. After Rav Yonasan left, Yosef, Rebbe become itzdayer. Rebbe was sitting, and Rebbe was in Psar. Why? V'amar. And he said, Oy li, woe is to me, Shanasati piti la'amaretz. Said Rebbe, woe is to me that given bread to Namaretz. Rebbe was distraught. He felt that in reality only the Talmidei Chachamim should receive. Amar la'afanav, Rav Shimon bar Rebbe, or Shimon bar Rebbe said to him, moving on to the second medium-sized line, Shema Yonasan ben Amram Tamidchu. Maybe that guy that you just fed wasn't an Amaret, but maybe it was Yonasan ben Amram, your Talmud. Sheina writes lahanas mikavai Torah. He didn't want to benefit from the honor of Torah miyamav, and that's the reason why he disguised and claimed that he was unlearned. Indeed, Rebbe went out, Badku, he checked, and he found that indeed it was none other than Rebbe Yonasan. Amar Rebbe, when Rebbe saw that people were pushing in such a mannerism, he comes to Akal, he let everyone receive the food from his storehouses. Says the Gemara on Rebbe Litaime. On the third medium-sized line, comments the Gemara that this is Shitas Rebbe, that what Amar Rebbe held. Ein Paranya is Bala. Punishment comes to this world, Elu b'shvil ha'maharetz. And that's why Rebbe felt that he shouldn't be feeding them kahu demei kalila. The shadu at like the case of the tax for the crown on the people of Tiberia, also kamei the Rebbe, lizvu rabbanan ba'adan. And he said, let the Rabbanan contribute. Amr Lulai. Rebbe said, no, the Rabbanan should not give. Amr Lai, Arukinon. But they're going to make us leave the city because we can't pay. I'm sorry, they told Rabbi we're ourselves going to leave. We can't handle the tax. Amr Lai, Aruku. Okay, so leave. Arku Palgayin, so half of them left the city. And Dalu Palga, when the king heard this, he waived half of the taxes. But those who were left still had to pay. Asanu Palga coming to Rabbi. So that half came in front of Rabbi and Amar Lei, Leisir Rabban Badan. And they said to Rabbi, let the Rabbanan pay with us. We can't afford this. Amar Lahu said, Rabbi Loyer Ignon. Rabbi said, Amar Lahu Loy. Arikunan, they also left the town. Aruku. So Rabbi said, run. Aruku Kulu. They all ran. Pashahu Kaives, there was a certain Kaives, laundryman that was in the town, Shadu Akaivetz. The governors imposed the tax on him. Ara Kaives, the Kaives went and he ran. Pakab Kililia. And now there was after that they said, okay, no more attacks to the crown of the king. Amar Rabbi Reisav Sheidbarni is Balailam El Bishul Amaratzim. We see that it's all because of them, and that's where Rabbi got the statement that if it's only from the Amaratzim. Continues the Gemara, 5 lines from the very wide lines on Chesam and Aleph. How long does one have to live in a city? Relevant for taxes, relevant for maestros, etc., and be part of the city. Says the Gemara, V'raminu, the Mishnah said 12 months, but ask the Gemara, V'raminu, Achameres, caravans, traveling by gameles, donkeys, V'ayveres, V'makolim, Ha'akaim, so Chamayrim, or Gamalun, donkeys, or camels that are traveling, V'elana b'saycho, and they slept in a certain city, V'hotchu yimahen, and the people were seduced into committing avodah zara. Hotchu means they pressed them into avodah zara. Hein b'skila u'memoinam palat. Those who are traveling, need skila, and their money is palat. The money doesn't have to be destroyed. Meaning, even though normally I need hachas, all the possessions of the city have to also be destroyed. But because these people were just in travel, so indeed they were chayiv the same punishment, but not on their money. But says the Braisa, Vinishto, but if they stayed over in this city, Sham Shleishim Yaim, Hein B'Sayif, then they would get Sayif, and their money would be lost. So as the Gemara, we see here it's only 30 days. Our Mishnah said 12 months. Amar Rava, 2 lines in the very wide lines, Lokash Alu B'nei Masa, Liyasuve Masa. When the Mishnah said, when do you become a full citizen? That's 12 months. When you chayiv in the tax, it's 30 days. Kidetanya. When he say I'm not getting benefit from people in that city, it means whoever's there for 12 months. Less than that, mutter. If someone says anyone who's currently in this city, says the Gemara, 1 second. But still, do you need 12 months? When you say I'm not getting as well is for what? Towards the boards of the gates of the city, and that's why it requires longer to be part of the city. Continues the Gemara, Amar Avasi, Amar Rav Yechon, the fourth very line, I call Abasi a year, Vafilu Miyas, even though you say you have to pay for this. Rabbanan Lai, the Rabbanan Lai Yechon the Tirus. Amar Rababa, Leshura, Leparsho, Letarzina. Says Rababa, for these, the 3 entities, money for the city wall, for a horseman, for weapons, Afilu Miyas mi. Avul Rabbanan Lai Yechon the Tirusa. Klala de Milsa. Says the Gemara, what is the klal? Klal de Milsa. Call milsa de islu hana. Anything that there is hana mine afilu miyasmi. You collect even from the Yisaimim. Continues the Gemara with the story of 4 lines from the bottom. Rabba Tzedakah Yasvi Rabba Lamaisa would collect from the Yisaimim Devei Marmeri. And I'm like, Yehuda. Eight Bais Tzedakah Yisaimim. We learned you don't take from the Yisaimim afilu b'din shvuyim even to ransom someone. I'm like, no, lach shvinu karvidna. So you responded, you know what I'm doing, lach shvinu. What I'm doing is I'm making them prominent, and therefore they're going to be considered chashiv. Says the Gemara, another story. Ifra hormis ime the shavar malka. Shadra arnika, they didn't really come to Rav Yosef. He sent a wallet of money in front of Rav Yosef Amra, and she said, this is Ifra hormis, the mother of shavar malka. She said, lahavi lemitzvah rabba. Let this money be for mitzvah rabba. She did not say for what mitzvah in particular. Yosef Rav Yosef kamayin ba. Yosef was sitting and looking into him. My mitzvah rabba. What's a mitzvah rabba? So what do we see for the fact that it singles out Bidin Shvuyin Shmami? No, as we turn over to Ches Amid Bey, says the Gemara. You know what the raya from here we see is Bidin Shvuyim. Clearly, Pidyon Shvuyim is considered a mitzvah rabba. Pidyon Shvuyim Mitzvah Rabba, and that is the Gemara's Raya. Omar Le, says the Gemara, let's delve a bit deeper into this Mitzvah Pidyon Shvuyim. Omar Le Rava, Omar Le Rava, let's get that highlighting back. Le Rabba Bar Mani Minah, Mil Sadam Rabbana, where do we know this thing? The Rabbana say the Pidyon Shvuyim Mitzvah Rabbi. Where do you get this from? Omar Le, Rabbi Amari responds to Rava, the Chsiv says in the Torah. V'hayu, not in the Torah, excuse me, in Yirmiyah. V'hayu ki Amar Elecha anon neitzev amarta aleim kamar Hashem shel amavis shel acherev shel arav shel ashvi l'shvi. So says Hashem, wherever they're destined to be, that's where they will be. V'amar Rav Yochanan kol ha'mu'ucher b'pasuk zeh kosher mechaver. Whatever is the latter in this pasuk is more kosher, is more difficult. Cherev kosher mimavis. So a sword is harder than mavis. Ibay say makra, says the Gemara. Ibay say masvar. So we're proving that which we just said, that which is later in the pasuk, is more severe. Ibay say masvara. High coming in avel, high low coming avel. I'll tell you a svara that when someone's killed by sword is more of a nivel, that the body is more disfigured. V'ibay Yisema, says the Gemara, that's the pasuk svara. What's the, Ibay Yisema kra, Yakar Beinei Hashem, Amavsa Lachasidav. Rav Kasha Mecharev, says the Gemara, but a Rav, famine is worse than even a sword. Ibay Yisema svara, Haikom Mistar, Velikom Mistar. You don't get any star. Ibay Yisema kra, Toivim Mayuchali Charev Mechali, Rav Shvi Kasha Mekulam. Captive is the highest level they're seeing in this pasuk. The kulu is now obeyed because he has all of them. There's the risk of dying, etc. And therefore, it's a large mitzvah, says the Gemara, to redeem the captives. Continues the Gemara, the two dots, about 20 lines down. First one line is Tanu Rabbanan, going back to Staka. Says the Gemara, Kuba shal Staka, Nigvis Bishnayim, Umischalekes Bishleisha. It's collected with two people. This is checks and balances on the staka, and it is distributed with three people. Three people. Negvis vishnayim is with two people. Shein oisim shrara isal tzibur bachs vishnayim. We never make a shrara. We never make someone in charge and authority over the people less than a committee of two. Umischalek is bishleisha. Why kedinei mammon? It's like all dinei mammon. You need three people to don in it. Tam choy, the food distribution negvis vishleisha is collected with three. Umischalek is vishleisha. Shegavua v'chalukah shavim, collecting and giving it out is equal. Tamchoy b'chol yom, tamchoy is given out daily, and kupa is merev Shabbos, erev Shabbos. Tamchoy la'ani oilam, kupa is la'ani just of that ear. Ursham b'nei ear, last is kupa, tamchoy kupa, l'shanaisai, l'chol mashir, to let us swap up the tzedakahs, whatever the town needs. Ursham b'nei ear, lahasla is al midai, so that'll make us tanai on the midais, on the weights, v'al sha'arim, and on the prices, v'al schar payalim, the price for the workers, u'la'asiyah, al kitzasan, and to find those who don't listen, that the Bezdin has the authority to do such. And we continue about 10 lines to the bottom. The first line is kitzasan. Amar mar inaisid shrara isal asibur bachs mishtayim. That you don't make a srara, you don't make an authority over the people unless there's two people involved. We already know this from Amar Nachman Amar Kravi Mimchu is Azav. Sharas who's loy avdi. Hayim dua mehamnim. But says they don't make a sharas, but l'maisa they are believers. So this is a raya to Rav Chanina. Dam Rav Chanina Maisa Uminu Rabbi Shtei Achad Al Kupa Umaisha Rusa Dam Rav Nachman Rav Ravua Lefi Shemashchin Al Staka Vafilu B'Erev Shabbos take a mashkin for Staka, and even on Erev Shabbos. Says the Gemara, really, is that true? On the first very wide line, Eini Vakseva, the Pasuk says, Ubakadati al Kol Loichatzav. But the Pasuk says, and I'll visit all those who oppress you. What does this Pasuk mean? In the second very wide line of Chesed Beis, Afilu al Gabait Tzedakah. Pasuk means that there will be bad even on the Gabait Tzedakah. Why? Because even without pushing them is an issue. Says the Gemara, so how do we explain Rav Yitzchak? Like Kasha, Hadlai Amid, one is he has wealth, Hadlai Amid, one is where he's not wealthy. Ki Hadlai Rava, Achmed, Rav Nasa Barami, Rava, What did he do? He coerced him. Continue darshaning the pasuk of the incredible Maila of he that is involved in collecting tzedakah. The wise will shine like the Zayir Akiyah. Zeh dayon shedan dinem islamit. Umatztikaram kichaychvim, and the matztikaram, and those who make them. Many people shine. It'll be like stars. Lailam void. Elo kabayit staka. B'mastit atanim matzkilim yesu kizar Akiyah. Zeh dayon shedan dinem emes lamitai. V'kabayit staka. Umatztikaram kichaychvim lailam v'ad oilam malam deiti noikes. Says the Gemara Kigoyin man. Who is an example of Malam Deiti Noikes? Rav Shmuel Bar Shilas, Rav Ashkel of Shmuel Bar Shilas. Davikoi begin Yasi, serve Shmuel Bar Shilas, that he's sitting in a garden. Amar Leil Shavkelem Nusech. And Rav said to him, have you left your emuna? Amar Leil Hatalei Sashnin 13 years. Lochazi Li. It's 13 years. I haven't seen this garden. V'hashtanami Tatoi Aluye. And even now, I'm thinking about the kids. Such is a incredible Rebbe that all he thinks about is the kids. And even at the moment he takes a break for the first time, even at that moment, he's thinking of the children of Rabbanan and Mai. And what does it mean, the Rabbanan who study Torah, Ravina, V'havav Ksisa Shemesh, Bigvu Ra Sai. And one last Gemara, says the Gemara, let's delve one drop deeper into those collecting tzedakah. Tana Rabbanan Gabai Tzedakah Ein Rashayim Lifrei Zemizad. They're not able to separate from one to another. But Avol Payir Zel Shar Zem. But they're allowed to Vizel Chanos. Avol Payir they stipulate and they split it Zel Shar Vizel Chanot. Matzah Ma'is. If the Gavi Tzedakah finds money, B'Shuk Lo Yinei B'Tarich Kisai. The Gavi Tzedakah should now put it inside his wallet. Ella, what should he do? Nice l'tech arniki shel tzedakah. Put it inside the wallet of tzedakah. Shayav lebeisa yileim, and he'll be able to take it. Kiyaitze b'yayim nice v'chaveira imana upara b'shag leinim l'tech kis. Open your own wallet. Nice l'tech arniki shel tzedakah, and then shayav lebeisa yileim. When you come to your house, you will take it. In order that people don't think that you're taking this unlawfully, illegally. Pick it up from Tanur Rabban in the next year. V'siyata dishmaya.